After you, now you.
Thanks to ESN security that discover about 5 truckload with the Fulani, the herdsmen try to go to Olu to go and do their usual business, the business of destruction and murder. If not for ESN, these people will have sneaked in again and they will have perpetrated their evil before we call Dark Robinson or even dominate that area again. So now that ESN is now calling on OP Sodima to look into this thing, what do you have to say to this, Mr. Chinedu?
A direct attack on Ozodema by the ESN there, and on the sending him a final warning of what is to come in Olo and Awo precisely in Imo State. And that is why we are reporting this live for you to understand that the network of ESN has continued to spread. And the purpose of establishing that security network was to tame and handle the issue of jihadist attacks, in our farmlands, in our communities, and it has been ongoing, and the government of the Eastern Nigeria for now knows very well that they cannot be able to stop it anymore. Yes, they are not contributing to the support of ESN, but people who are sacrificing their hard-earned money to keep ESN working should be celebrated. Much kudos to Mazi, the IPOB, the Supreme Leader himself, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It shall be well with you for discovering and rediscovering and reawakening our consciousness to the reality on ground. Not only to the Biafras alone, to the Hausas too. I can see the reaction coming from the Hausa youth. I can see, so to an extent, the impact of illumination of in the Yoruba land. Yes, you can see the young band that was singing about you, talking about you. Some of them are even also are even saying, I'm begging you for forgiveness. You can watch it on this video. But direct to Hope Uzodinma. Who is Hope Uzodinma at the first place? And what is the purpose of having Hope Uzodinma as governor of that state? I forget the recent statement where he came and shot himself on the leg. This time around, it is no longer going to be that. The Olo and the Awo communities in Imo State is setting up in a structure, and that was the instruction of the ESN squad leaders who has taken up that there will be no any side, there will be no atom of any space, of Fulani, suspected Islamic jihadists in the east, in any forest in Imo State. They have taken at that and they have spread their intelligence network, and that one caught the over 5 trucks loaded with these people, and they covered them, and sometimes you begin to wonder, these guys, don't they breathe? Don't they look for, they will just cover them and see them in a particular truck, and you see them.
I wonder, woman be like
yes, and when you open this, you wonder, where did these guys them get oxygen? How did they breathe?
Okay.
So it will tell you, the extent of the agenda that's already. Sometimes you wonder, the army cannot tell us they don't have that intelligence, the police cannot tell us that they don't have that intelligence, but because they are there and they know that the governors they put there has already agreed on a certain platform, on a certain agenda, and that's why they made them governors respectively. And you can see all of them are looking the other direction. A whole chief security officer of a state does not know that jihadists inside trailer loaded is invading this
particular community
state until the ESN flag it down and shut down everybody, and that was the beginning of what happens next. So the instruction is that there will be no more space for anything. Even those Hopos that are trying to camp somewhere, they smashed the place, destroy everything in that angle, and they are still running to Meiti Allah. That's the problem, and through their caliphate structure to make sure that you see what your mission is failing. Our mission is failing, and we are going to hold you responsible. You've not been able to fulfill your mission. And what's the mission? Allow the IDP camp to develop a Ruga. You see. Why they say
come in the name of IDP camp?
Yes. When they now bring it, they say it's IDP camp. Is that then you will not allocate forest to them. From there, they start developing to Ruga. And that is what ESN has moved to in action completely. There's a massive, reawakening among Imo State youths now. And all of them are moving with whether armed or not armed, suicide mission, whatever they see there. But you must not stay in Imo State. Those suspected Islamic jihadists that were flagged down, all of them, none of them escaped. All of them were arrested and they are heading to Imo River straight away. We don't know what is going to happen at the end of the day. You understand? But if it is where IDP camp, Opus Adema's IDP camp, maybe they will take us to
the Imo River.
Yes, they will take us to where the also Opus Adema's ID camp is, and that's what most of them are saying. They are reported anyway that when they get to that direction, then they will discover whether that's there where the IDP camp is or they are doing something else. Yes. Nigeria deserve to know. The people deserve to know. It is the same thing is happening in Abraka. The same thing is happening. If you watch that video clearly, they said after they have conquered Enugu, the next target is Port Harcourt. And you can see nobody is talking anything. Everybody just keep quiet. Should I do be this one? I mean, I don't understand how, in the absence of Simon Ekpa and everything, even though we know that what Simon Ekpa is going through now was as a result of the same people, using their Arab connections all over the world, around the world, and to make sure, even to an extent, using the president himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You can see when he instructed the Finnish ambassador in Nigeria to see how they're going to arrest Simon Ekpa. You can imagine. Okay, let us say he's even the one causing the havoc in the eastern. Then what is happening now? People are still dying in their farms. People are being killed, and these people are still claiming responsibility in our own indigenous land.
Let's talk about the issue of ESN and the Ebubeago. Why can't these two bodies work together to protect people of their area? Because the purpose of the two is to protect the indigenous and the forest. Why this disparity?
You see, that is what is causing a lot of problem. This one we saw recently in Anambra State under Governor Soludo. These are the suspected embargo, and of course those who do not like the activities of having a pro-government Fulani embargo. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is pro-government Fulani Ebubago. I remember there was a report sometime, that Umahi and Buhari, deliberately formed those things to stabilize the southeastern part of the country. There was a special report
not about to protection,
yes,
about destabilization.
It was a deliberate act. They created it. The Fulani agenda created that Ebubago to checkmate the presence of IPOB and ESN against their own people. And that's why I'm saying that the repentant Boko Haram people has been moved to the eastern part of the country. Repentant Boko Haram from the army has been moved in there.
Repentant Boko Haram.
Yes. So no, when they see those people now in their uniform, you think they are Nigerian soldiers. They are not Nigerian soldiers. These are repentant Fulani. It's another strategy to continue to mold down the Igbo youths, the Biafra, to continue to kill them under the guys that are wearing Nigerian military uniform. These guys, but the ESN and of course the intelligence has keep on unveiling them on daily basis, and to an extent they're surprised. So when they saw that this thing cannot no longer hold waters anymore, their secret has been exposed, they begin to see how they're going to put form one allegation against Simon Ekpa, do one or two things. But look at it, in no distant time now, Simon Ekpa will be freed. And we are going to see an advanced network. We are going to see an advanced solidarity. We are going to see a lot of things building up, towards, separating ourselves from Nigeria. And that's the fact, because our people cannot continue to die under pretense of one unity or the other. Now, let me give you an instance. For example, like somebody will always say, what is it that Nigerians can give the Biafrans that Biafrans cannot give themselves?
That cannot give themselves.
So what is the basis of this unity that Nigerians are dying every day, pretending that it is insecurity? Why? If government cannot do anything, they say defend themselves, and he said they have compromised. The governors in Nigeria have compromised. they have succumbed because they just are there to, line up their pockets against the protection of the people who called them to come and serve them, at the detriment of their own tax, of their own hard-earned money, contributing, paying tax on daily basis, and there was nothing to celebrate about it. So Hope Uzodimma has been put on the radar completely by the ESN, and I can tell you, the remaining locations has been unfurled, and they have been sent back to where they come from. I think that was the instruction. Move to where you come from. Move to Funta Jalon. That is where you belong. Move to wherever. This plan to allocate land to them through IDP camps has finally collapsed.
And what do you think our president should do in the midst of all this brouhaha that we are facing? Fulani want to hijack. Is our president not aware of it, or he just tried to play the ostrich insensitivity? What do you have to say about that?
So his reaction and the quietness, the grave calm that followed when what it happened. And the response of Professor Akintoye, the pro-Odua activist, made it very clear that over 60,000 Yorubas has been murdered by these people. I think that was what triggered Akeredolu, the late Akeredolu, former governor, to insist, even though some of them were kicking against it. He insisted that no, this thing, Omoteku must come to place. So he cannot tell me that the president is not aware. He can't tell me that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not aware. He can't tell me that these guys does not understand how they were able to shoot themselves on the leg just because they want to remove somebody by violence, and they continued an agenda. Or it's a very clear thing. He knows. He knows what is happening, and somebody who has benefited from a fractured system will be ashamed of himself, unless it's somebody with a brave, ambitious mind on earth to able to stand the challenge and said, yes, I've made mistake. I can no longer be part of this arrangement. Yes, the prodigal son once repented, and we saw it. Then why is it that this thing has lingered since 1953 till now? It's because they will not be able to overwhelm the Biafrans. As simple as that. And the target has always been them. So when you see this thing, it has gotten to the extent that they are now planting governors because it is difficult. They are planting senators in this southern part of the country. It is dangerous. Who are going to raise the issue right there at the NEC meeting, at the federal NEC meeting? Who is going to talk about it?